You survived the first 5. The truths you didn't want to hear, but needed to. Truths that burned through your illusions, tore down your comforts, left you staring at a version of yourself you tried to bury. But that was only the beginning. There are deeper wounds still unopened, heavier chains still unbroken, lies we whisper to ourselves in silence, that Stoicism was born to kill. And now we go further, back into the fire, back into the mind of a man who owned nothing, but mastered everything. Epictetus, born into slavery, beaten, discarded, forgotten, and yet he stood taller than emperors, because he understood one thing the world still runs from. Freedom doesn't mean escape. Freedom means mastery. These are the final 5 truths, and they will hurt, because they are the truths we fear most. But fear is exactly what must die. Now, walk with him again, through smoke, through silence, through yourself. Brutal truth number 6. Freedom is not what you think. They taught you that freedom meant doing whatever you wanted, speaking without limits, loving without rules, living without restraint. But what they never told you is this: desire is its own master, and most of us are its slaves. We follow our cravings like dogs on a leash. We chase pleasure like it's salvation. We run from pain like it's death. We call that freedom, but Epictetus saw through the illusion, because he had been both a literal slave and a free man of the mind. He lived with chains around his leg, and yet walked freer than kings. He was beaten, owned, humiliated. But no man ever touched the throne within him. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That's the war you're in. Not a war for your country. Not a war for your rights. Not a war for your name. But a war for your inner throne. Tell me, who rules you? Is it your anger? Your envy? Your hunger for approval? Your fear of being alone? If any of these command your thoughts, you are not free. You're just a slave in disguise. A slave with better shoes, a softer bed, a golden cage. You want freedom? Then stop chasing comfort, because comfort is a prison made of silk. You don't feel the bars. You don't hear the doors lock. But when the fire comes, you'll have nowhere to run. Epictetus said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That's because we are prisoners of what might happen. We panic about the future. We replay the past. We worry over what they'll say. We tremble at the thought of failure, so we build walls. We obey fear. We kneel to emotion, and we call it wisdom. But it's not wisdom. It's slavery. He taught, you don't need permission to be free. You don't need applause. You don't need wealth. You don't even need peace. You only need to rule one thing: yourself. And for that, you'll need discipline. The kind of discipline no school teaches, no army enforces, no government demands. It's the kind of discipline that tells you, sit with the craving, let it pass, feel the fear, don't run, lose what you love, still stand. Because freedom is not the absence of pain, it's the refusal to kneel to it. The world will call you cold, detached, uncaring. Let them. They are slaves screaming from golden cages. You are building silence into a fortress. Let them mock your stillness. Let them misunderstand your calm. Let them rage at your refusal to panic, because stillness is power, and power is freedom. Seek not for events to happen as you wish, but wish for events to happen as they do, and your life will flow smoothly. That's not surrender. That's sovereignty. That's the kind of power the world can't touch. That's freedom. Not what you own, not what you post, not what they let you do, but what you can walk away from without losing who you are. Because the man who can lose everything and still remain whole, that man is untouchable. That man is free. Brutal truth number 7. The world owes you nothing. You wake up every day with a silent expectation that life will be fair, that people will be kind, that effort will be rewarded, that justice will prevail. But Epictetus, he never woke up with expectations, only clarity, because he understood a brutal, unwelcome truth. The world owes you nothing. The world will not wait for you. It will not protect your dreams. It will not cushion your falls. It does not care how badly you want something. It is not cruel. It is not kind. It just is. And to suffer in it is to expect it to be anything else. We say, I deserve more. I worked hard. I was good to others. I didn't deserve this. But life doesn't deal in fairness. It deals in reality, in nature, in indifference. Epictetus never expected kindness from men. He didn't wait for justice. He didn't pray for comfort. He lived as if nothing was promised, because that's the truth. And when you live that way, every sunrise is a gift. Every moment is extra. Every insult is irrelevant. You suffer more from what you thought you deserved than from what actually happened. The pain you feel isn't just from betrayal or failure or loss. It's from this whisper in your mind. This shouldn't have happened to me, but it did. And it was never about what should happen. The Stoic doesn't ask, why me? He asks, now what? You were born into a world that didn't ask for you, and it will not bend for you. That's not bleak. That's liberating. Because if the world owes you nothing, then every moment you're given is yours to earn, not to expect. Not to demand, to earn with your courage, your calm, your character. Let go of your complaint. Let go of the script in your head. Let go of the idea that people will change just because you were kind. The truth is, people will hurt you. The world will ignore you. Justice will come late, or not at all. And your job is to stand anyway, because the world doesn't owe you fairness, but you owe yourself strength. The Stoic expects nothing and appreciates everything, because that is the only path to peace in a world that never promised you any. Brutal truth number 8. You are not important as you think. You carry your name like a badge, your story like it's sacred, your pain like it's unique. You think your anger is righteous, your sadness is special, your failures tragic. But here's what Epictetus would tell you, with no hesitation, no sugar: you're not as important as you think. The world is not watching you. It's not waiting for your moment. It's not orbiting your story. And when you die, it will go on, just like it did before you were born. The greatest men of Rome built temples, led armies, spoke to crowds of thousands. Now their names are dust, their monuments cracked, their stories fading. And you? You're worried about someone liking your post, replying to your message, remembering your birthday. Let it go, because the pain you carry comes from this illusion that you matter more than others. But when you finally realize you are just a piece of the whole, a moment in the timeline, a flicker in the flame, you stop trying so hard to prove anything. He knew. If you strip away your name, your clothes, your history, your titles, what's left? If the answer is emptiness, then you were never full. And that's where most of us stand, hollow inside, but obsessed with how we appear. We shout our pain to be heard. We inflate our wounds to be seen. We decorate our ego with fake humility. Epictetus warned against pride in all its forms, especially the subtle kind, the kind that hides behind false modesty, the kind that wants applause for pretending not to want it. He said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. You want growth? Then let go of your image. Let go of your pride. Let go of being liked, respected, admired. Let them laugh. Let them forget you. Let them think you failed. And while they chase noise, you build silence. You are not the center of this world. You're a breath, a name soon erased, a voice soon silenced, a presence soon replaced. So what do? You accept it. You embrace your smallness. And in that, you find something no title can give. Peace. The man who thinks he's everything suffers when he's ignored. But the man who knows he is nothing can walk through fire and feel no burn, because his ego is already gone. Brutal truth number 9. You will lose everything you love. They don't tell you this when you're young. They tell you to dream, to build, to love deeply, to fight for what matters. But they forget to mention something. You will lose all of it. Everything you hold, everyone you cherish, every joy you've stored in your chest, it will all vanish. Not maybe, not someday, not if you're unlucky, but inevitably. Epictetus didn't deny grief. He didn't preach numbness. He didn't tell you not to love, but he warned, love without illusion. He said, never say about anything, I have lost it, but only, I have given it back. That's not cold, that's clarity. You will bury friends. You will part from lovers. You will lose homes, memories, names. You may even outlive your own children. And if your heart is tied to these things like anchors, then their death will drag you with them. But if you train yourself now to hold nothing too tightly, to love without clinging, to live with your hands open, then when the storm comes, you won't shatter. You'll bend, but not break. They'll call it detachment, coldness, cruelty, but Epictetus would call it strength, the kind that isn't built in a day, the kind that takes silence, practice, lost again and again, until you can finally look it in the eye and say, I expected you. Everything you love is on loan. Every moment you cherish is a visitor. Every person you hold, already belongs to time, so live as if it could all be taken tomorrow. Because one day it will. And when it happens, you won't fall apart. You'll simply bow and return what was never truly yours. This isn't about letting go of love. It's about loving without chains, caring without control, holding without fear. Because freedom isn't in keeping things. It's in being ready to lose them. Brutal truth number 10. You're going to die. This is the truth we all outrun. The truth we bury beneath distractions. We drown it in noise. We decorate it with denial. We soften it with philosophy. But it always waits. Death. You're going to die. Not someday in the distant future. Not hypothetically. Not as a poetic idea. You will die. And when that moment comes, no one will trade places. No prayer will rewind time. No title will shield you. No wealth will follow you. The road ends. Epictetus faced this truth every day, not with fear, but with fire. Because to him, death wasn't an intruder. It was a companion, a teacher, a compass. Keep death before your eyes every day, he said, and you'll never have a base thought nor too eager a desire. He meant, let death sharpen your life. Let it wake you up. Let it burn away your laziness, your excuses, your ego. You don't have time. Not really. You're not young forever. You won't be strong forever. Your parents will die. Your friends will die. You will die. And the question isn't if, it's how will you face it. Most people live like they're immortal. They delay what matters. They postpone truth. They trade soul for schedule. They think tomorrow is promised. But Epictetus, he lived like a man on fire, because he knew. You either master time, or time masters you. You're going to die. So love fully, but don't cling. Serve deeply, but don't expect. Act bravely, but without pride. Walk into the world each morning knowing this day, this breath, this chance might be your last. Death is not your enemy. It is your reminder that this moment is precious, that your choices matter, that your time is slipping every second. So don't waste it. Live with virtue. Live with fire. Live like you were dying all along, because you are. Now you've heard them all. 10 truths. Not gentle, not soft, not made to comfort you, but to wake you. These were not rules from a book, not theories, not poetry. They were the tools of a man who had nothing. Born in chains, beaten into silence, discarded by the world, but who still chose to become unbreakable. He didn't control the world. He didn't ask to. He controlled himself, his thoughts, his reactions, his choices. And in that, he found a kind of freedom that kings could never touch. The world will test you, take from you, forget you. Let it. You don't need to be remembered. You just need to be ready.